You have a guy who has no expectation of being king, being thrust into being king right at the moment when radio has taken off as a mass medium, and he's expected to speak not only to England but all the 58 countries of the British Empire, which is a huge audience. And on top of that, the Second World War is approaching, and he's expected to lead the country into war through speaking beautifully and connecting to people, and he can't speak. And who would think that the guy who got him through this, and this fact is really not known in England, the guy who got him through this is this wonderfully laconic Australian speech therapist, not a doctor, self-taught, failed Shakespearean actor originally, who's a genius at speech therapy. And this guy, this total outsider, this colonial, this Australian, from a different class and a different life, penetrates right to the heart of the royal establishment and saves the king really through this wonderful friendship that the two men develop. Great friends suggested he write it as a play, which he did. He was now living in California. He couldn't find the Logues anymore, or any of the Logue family, so he wrote it without these diaries. And then this play, a fringe theatre company in London wanted to put this play on. And here's where I come in. So I'm the son of an Australian mother and an English father. And I'd always, because of my Australian half, I'd always wanted to make a film about Australia or a film about the English-Australian relationship. So my Australian mother in late 2007 is invited to be part of the token Australian audience by some Australian friends of a fringe theatre play reading of an unproduced play called The King's Speech. Now I have to add, my mother's never been invited to a play reading in her life, and it didn't sound, to be honest, that promising, so she almost didn't go. Thank God she did, because she went along, she heard the play read, she rang me up and said, "Tom, I think I found your next film." The same play was delivered in a brown paper envelope to the Melbourne doorstep of Geoffrey Rush, because someone in the Fringe Theatre London play group happened to know Geoffrey's street address and was Australian. You'd think he threw it in the bin. No, he read this completely unsolicited play script and phoned his agent and says, "Oh, I don't fancy it as a play, but I'd love to as a movie." And with Geoffrey on board, I was then able to, with the producer's help, get some money, and we were able to go to Colin Firth. Colin was the only person who we did it conventionally. I phoned his agent, said, "Can I have lunch with Colin?" And we had lunch. Geoffrey, Colin and Helena, are just such extraordinary actors. I mean, they're fiercely bright, they're fiercely good on script, they're fiercely careful about their research, and they're also fantastically funny people to work with.